Coming up Monday on the Channel 2 Morning News, it's Martin Luther King Day, but we'll still be here to bring you the latest news from here and around the world. And special guest Scott Allen Katsura will be in to share his music on Monday.
Updated headlines when we come back. But first, we're glad to have with us someone who's got himself a hit on the internet. He's a New York City musical performer who got to the Big Apple by way of Aiea High School. Here's Scott Allen Katsura live in our studio.
Counting on days gone by since your spirit said goodbye. Just a gravestone there to remind me. I long to see your face, feel the warmth of your sweet embrace, just to hold you, hope to touch you. I wonder if you can hear me when I speak to you. Oh, won't you please just show me a sign that you live again. You were my only friend, believed in me to the very end. You were someone who fulfilled me, and I feel your spirit's heartbeats living inside of me. Tell me, do you know that I'm thinking of you and me? Live again. I'm living, believing, a feeling that you're still here. We're living, believing.
All right, mahalo. Coming up, we'll talk with an Aiea High grad living in the Big Apple, making music. Scott Allen Katsura, next. For the last 3 years, Channel 2 has been following the class of 2000 at Aiea High School. Teenagers who will reach adulthood on the edge of a new century, at the brink of a new millennium. This morning, our musical guest is a graduate of Aiea High School, and his path has taken him to New York City. Scott Allen Katsura.
Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Your path
Happy Martin Luther King's Day, by the way.
Happy to you, too.
Thank you.
Your path has taken you to the top of the internet with a single called Supernatural?
Yes, that was a real nice surprise. As a matter of fact, when I left home for Hawaii on December 3rd, I went #1 on the charts on December 4th. So that was a real nice surprise coming home, and it's been #1 consistently for 4 weeks.
Okay, now how do you make #1 on the internet?
Well, globally, people vote, and I guess they go on to the website, and people vote, and they listen to it, and they download my song, and the one who gets the most downloads, I guess you could say, is the one that goes #1.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Oh yeah, globally. Real nice surprise.
How did you start in music?
Well, I actually was a late bloomer. I started when I was 22 years old.
Is that right?
Yes, and I never...
What had you done before then? What did you think you were going to do?
Nothing. I always wanted to do this, But I was very insecure and very nervous about doing this. I was very shy and was a late bloomer, like I said. And at 22 years old, I decided to seek out a professional voice coach from Hawaii. And if she said that I could do this and that she would take me under her wing, then I had the potential to do this. So that's basically how I started. But I would sing in the shower privately. The music, Sound of Music, the movie, was the movie that inspired me to do this. It was when I was 5 years old. Yeah, I remember seeing it at the Waikiki theaters with my parents.
But it took you a long time to act on this idea that I want to sing.
Oh, yes. And as a matter of fact, it was out of high school that I got into fashion. And that really built my confidence because, you know, it taught me more self-esteem. It taught me more about appearance and, you know, being confident with your individuality.
Well, you need a lot of confidence in New York City. Talk about a competitive business, a brutal business, the music industry.
Oh, yes. It's really tough out there, but I've learned to make the aloha work for me. You know, I've been there for 10 years now, and the reason why I actually came home, you know, after 10 years is because I wanted to make this year special by giving back, and this album is doing so well, I figured the best thing I could do is to start by giving back, making the last year before the millennium, you know, a real special one, and I thought the best place to give would be Hawaii.
And you've been making tours of local high schools.
Oh, yes. I'll be going statewide, and I actually kicked off my tour at Kahuku High School and Roosevelt, so I'll be continuing that until March 18th.
When did you graduate? Or should I say, what year did you grad?
What year did I grad? I graduated in 1981 from Aiea High School, just like Jomar, and yeah, it's been from Aiea.
And so you've been in New York 10 years?
It's been 10 years. I left in 1989, and like I said, I came back because I did not only want to come back and encourage the kids, you know, because I hear the economy's been really hard lately, and I've spoken to a lot of family and friends and people who are leaving the islands and closing down businesses, and I thought, this is a perfect time. I gave a lot of my years in New York, you know, for 10 years now, and I feel like it's a good time to come home and give back, and rather than think of what I can get, you know, more like think of what I can give.
And you'll be performing in the Aiea High School gym at 11 o'clock Friday, right?
Yes, that should be really awesome. I'm real nervous about it. There's nothing like
I bet you that's the hardest audience you'll play for a while.
I think so. I think so. But I actually did like Kalaba Prison when I was home. I did a lot of charities, Shriners Hospital, and I spoke at the Hawaii State Teachers Association, you know, the other week. I've done maybe like 20, 25 shows for people out here, so. Well, but that should be the most nerve-wracking one, I think.
Although they're a great group, I know they'll welcome you. We want to sneak in time for you to be able to sing a song at the end of the program.
Sure, I'd love to.
So why don't we wrap up and we'll come back with more of Scott Allen Katsura.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next Channel 2 News is the World Report with Joe Moore at 5:30 p.m., followed by more Hawaii news at 6 p.m. Your Channel 2 morning news crew will be back first thing tomorrow when our guest will be psychologist Suzanne Gelb, who has some advice for hardworking people caring at home for an elder. A lot of stress there. We leave you now with the music of the man who's got a #1 hit on the internet called Supernatural. His name is Scott Allen Katsura out of Aiea. Ahui ho. Till we meet again, aloha.
I ran away from home, searching for that special dream. I never knew how cruel this world could be. Surrounded by hearts so cold and oh so hard, reminded me that love was waiting in my own backyard. I took for granted the parents I was given. I never knew their passion would lead me to be driven. Without my sisters, they loved me oh so much. For the person I am was always just enough. In God's time, He will reveal why you feel the way you feel. He will show why you know what you know. the truth arise. Why you see what's in your eyes. He has a plan. Someday soon you'll understand. In God's time. Only in God's time. Oh yeah. Only in God's time. I took for granted dearest mom and dad. They gave me life with everything they had. My loving sisters, I'm sorry for being your only brother who was hardly ever seen. You play the part of what's really in your heart. You see the light, peace of mind to sleep at night. We'll be together, sharing time as one forever. We will hear it, loving voice from the Holy Spirit in God's time.